for the last time. This episode of Shaman King covers from chapters 299 to 300, a grand total of 2 chapters in this episode. I think this has to be the least amount of chapters any episode of the 2021 anime has adapted, and ironically is the very last episode to do it. But wow guys, what a journey. The show had its ups and downs, but it was still a good ride for us Shaman King fans. This episode is literally split into 2 halves. The first half is every one of the characters that Hao has killed, and remember guys, when Hao returned with the power of the Shaman King, he killed everyone on Earth. So all those people returned in this episode to show him kindness and love. It's essentially that quote you see on the internet, kill them with kindness. And that's what happened to Hao in this first half of the episode. The second half of the episode, we see our main group of heroes all grown up. And we even see some of them have kids of their own, with Hana Asakura being Yo's kid and Men being Ren's kid. That name still cracks me up by the way, but going back to the episode, given that this was the last episode, for me visually it looked really good, especially Hao's great spirit oversoul, which was just a behemoth, towering over all of the 5 elemental spirits, which are giant oversouls in their own right as well. I did wish they expanded the fight just a bit more. I would love to have seen our main heroes actually launch an attack against Hao's great spirit oversoul, even if it's just one attack, because think about it, they're fighting against the Shaman King. If they made the Shaman King work hard in a fight, that's still massive, and it's like a final payoff for their shaman abilities. They were never able to close the power gap against Hao before, but now all of their combined attacks together, they managed to make the Shaman King powered up with the Great Spirit struggle. That's what I personally would have liked to see, but it's still awesome seeing the crazy abilities that Hao was using. He made a black hole and was using the power of the sun against our heroes. Take really put in the imagination for Hao in this fight, which then leads to the train scene with Manta leading the charge. Now let's get a proper debate going. Do you guys like the way the final battle against Hao ended? I'm really curious about this. Manga readers and especially you anime onlys, I want to hear your opinions on this ending battle. For me, when I was reading the manga and came to this final battle, I'm not gonna lie, I was disappointed at first. I felt it was such an anticlimax for a fight that we have been waiting for almost 300 chapters. Remember the amount of times they teased Yo's friends and Hao are finally going to clash, but they never did? Such as the moment in the Golem arc where all of them were in the forest and you would think they're about to go at it, but then Hao just leaves. For me personally, I still wanted to see a massive battle between our heroes against Hao. This is what we have been waiting for the entire story. Yo and friends have the 5 elemental spirits which are linked to the Great Spirit. And you have Hao who finally, after 1,000 years, acquired the Great Spirit and became Shaman King. I wanted to see a Dragon Ball Z Naruto level of a destructive fight, given that it was the final fight against Hao. But then when I see the power gap, unless there's a bullshit power up that comes out of nowhere, which is a big criticism of the finale of the 2001 anime, how can you justify beating Hao? We're literally witnessing him use the power of the sun to attack our heroes. So beating him in a straight up fight was impossible. So in a clever little twist, Take gave Hao a babyface turn right at the end, with everyone not fighting against Hao, but encouraging him to be the best Shaman King he can be. Yeah, it was a little cheesy, but seeing all of these characters together, and especially the parents, was so wholesome and heartwarming to see. Especially Lyserg's and Chocolov's parents. That one put a smile on my face. It was cheesy and I liked it. Nowadays almost everything is bittersweet. Nearly every show has a dark cliffhanger ending or a bittersweet ending. So it's so refreshing to see a show actually have a happy ending. And even then you can make the argument that it still ends up being a bittersweet ending, considering we saw Hao be the Shaman King and not our heroes. So if your favorite character is one of our main heroes, and you were rooting for them to be the Shaman King, I can see why you would be a bit negative towards this ending. But even then, it's still a minority of people, and at this late stage, who would end up beating Hao to be Shaman King when he was already infused with the Great Spirit? Other than seeing the dead parents of our heroes, the scene where we see Hao stop the black hole from absorbing Opacho was one of my favorites. Him unclenching his fist was a symbol of him letting go and finally accepting that he might be the one in the wrong. And Apacho knew this as well, and we slowly start to see Hao from becoming a tyrannical shaman overlord into becoming more human and down to earth. But yeah, we don't see many shows have an ending like this where all the characters have a satisfying ending, so that was so nice to see. The second half of the episode, however, in my opinion, was better than the first half because these characters are all in their 20s now. They are around our age now, and just seeing them as adults it's just so surreal to see. The banter is still there between these characters. Ryu is looking like a heavyweight boxer, seeing how massive he's become, and the rest of them, look how long their hair is. Ren still has spikes and the long hair to go with it. In the manga, Yo and Anna become travelers, globe-trotting all around the world. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I would love to see the adventures of Anna and Yo. Can you imagine all the shamans that Yo would have met around the world? Knowing that he's the brother of Hao, that would have been epic to see, especially as adults as well. I know the show keeps saying by the time you reach your adulthood, you have peaked as a shaman, but if that's the case, we will be seeing Yo at his strongest. So that still would have been an interesting sight to see. We saw Hana Asakura, who's more like Ren in his aggressive manner rather than Yo. But then again, he probably gets that aggression from his mom Anna. As we all know, she is the originator of the Phantom Left. Seeing all of these characters just chill out and have a laugh is something we rarely saw in the 2021 anime. So seeing all of these characters as adults just chilling with each other and having a good time really gives you a nostalgic feeling to something that we all can relate to. Those of us who have watched Shaman King as kids are now adults in university or are in the workforce. So knowing that these characters haven't seen each other for a long time but are having this reunion is something all of us as adults can relate to. Life gets busy and you don't have much time to see your old friends, but when you do, it's still a laugh. That's my take on the second half of the episode and why I enjoyed it so much. But now over to you guys. What did you think of this episode? Did the ending meet your expectations? Was it a disappointment or did you love it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. As we all know guys, this is the final episode of the 2021 anime, and I would like to thank all of you who have stuck by us every week on this channel waiting for our reviews. You have all given insight to the episode that we always love reading through. There's been some interesting debates as well in the comments which I feel kept the Shaman King community alive and well. You guys have been very positive in your feedback regarding the reviews and our topical videos such as the 2001 versus 2021 character videos. So thank you for your positivity. We will be releasing the character videos in the following weeks as well. Yo and Hao's videos are going to be a treat, so be patient because I promise you those will be worth a wait. We will have a few surprises coming your way as well, so click the notification bell to be alerted when those surprise videos drop. There will be a few podcast videos as well coming your way talking about Shaman King and potentially other animes as well such as Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer, so stay tuned for those fun discussions. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the Shaman Tribe.